Hello, this is Reb Yoseph Schreiber coming to you from Artsa. This week is Parshas Netsavim VaYelech, and in the beginning of it, Moshe talks about the bris that God is literally cutting with the children of Israel, and he says that he's making this bris not only with those who are standing here now, but those who are not standing here. The commentaries focus on this verse, and they say that when he says that those who are not here, and they specifically look at the word not standing here, they say that their souls are there, and even though their bodies have not been created, basically based on the Midrash Tanchuma, and that it applies to all future generations, that the Jews of all generations were standing before Moshe when he was giving this exhortation about keeping the bris. And the context is it's a new generation, and it's a generation that wants to keep the law in the Torah, and it's a generation that wants to keep that wants to acquire Eretz Yisrael and have it as a heritage for all generations. The question is asked, how can one generation commit another generation? You could say, well, my father, or my grandfather, or our founding fathers of this people, they were amenable to the idea. The idea was pleasing to them. But we don't want to be that way. So the basic answer is that the Chumash sees a man as being the root of his line. A person's lineage is a separate entity, and a nation is also a separate entity. And you have a number of manifestations of this idea. Ma'aseh avos simin labanim, the actions of a father are a sign of what the children will do. You also have the idea of, which is related to this, of a national consciousness, that once a nation does something, or there are certain things that a nation will do, and once that happens, it affects and influences the behavior of all of the individuals in that nation. You have the idea in Parshas Yonah, where when Yonah is fleeing from God and the sailors with him say, "Where did you come from? What is your homeland? Who are your people? What's your profession?" And the idea is that any one of these groups could have committed a sin, and that is why the sea is stormy around them, even though the individual may not have committed the sin. As a result, once the nation and the fathers accepted the mission of being a nation of priests, then it was accepted, it became part of an integral aspect of the creation. Part of the aspect of the bris is that once the children of Israel accepted this covenant, and once the patriarchs accepted it, the personality of their progeny became different, as did the world become a bit different. And what it means is that they began to have the talents and the inclination to fulfill this path, and that the hand of providence was going to guide them in this way. As a result of that, to the extent that an individual in the nation does not fulfill this commitment, it's really an abuse of the talents that have been given them, and it's also a violation of the commitments made by the nation as a whole. So what we see is part of this is the curses. The idea of the curses, quite lengthy in Parshas Kitavo, also mentioned quite strongly in Parshas Netsavim, is that, so to speak, they are expressions of love. The idea is that, let's say a man is marrying a woman and he loves her very much. He may say that if I'm not true to you, all sorts of horrible things will happen to me. So to speak, when Moshe is giving these curses, the nation as a whole is saying, if we should have a generation that is not inclined to accept the Torah and that does not want the land of Israel, that they should consider all of these horrible things, and with that they will be frightened, and they will then be more inclined to listen to the blessings that come from keeping the bris. Shabbat Shalom. Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu. Kavar charashnu v'gam zaranu, Kavar charashnu v'gam zaranu, Od lo katsarnu, Aval od lo katsarnu, Aval od lo katsarnu, Aval od lo katsarnu. Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu, Artsa Alinu. Kavar harashnu v'gam zaranu, Kavar harashnu v'gam zaranu, Aval od lo katsarnu, Aval od lo katsarnu, Aval od lo katsarnu, Aval od lo katsarnu. Ashreinu matov halkeinu umana'im goraleinu. Ashreinu matov halkeinu umana'im goraleinu. Ashreinu matov halkeinu umana'im goraleinu, umana'im goraleinu, umana'im goraleinu, umana'im goraleinu, umana'im goraleinu.